Hello, guys. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are. So, in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make your welt pocket, okay, with a very simple step. So, now let's get to it. So, I have this long shape at about 22 inches. I have already ironed my paper stay on that, okay. So, this is about 21 inch, all right, and the width is 8 inches, okay. So go ahead and then iron your paper stay, and then to get the midpoint I just went ahead to fold it to get that crease line you see there, and then from there I went ahead to mark my shape, okay. So I did 5 inches for the wideness, okay, and then for the thickness of the pocket I went ahead to do just half an inch, so I divided it a quarter inch on the top and the down part. Okay, so this is how it goes, and then just connect your points together to create the shape that you are seeing here right now. Okay, so make sure that this is your right side and the paper stays on the left side of your fabric. Take note. All right, so the next thing I am going to find the right place to put my pocket. So right from the nape of my neck, I'm marking 10 inches, which is my chest line, okay. And then from the center crease line, I'm going to be marking 2 inches or 2.5 inches away from that center crease line. Okay, this is the center crease line, so 2 inches or 2.5 inches is okay. All right, so after that, just go ahead and then pin this down very well, or you can just go ahead and draw the same shape on your pockets, on the same shape of your welt on your shirt, and then marry those two together, okay. But I feel like this is a simpler step. So after pinning, I'm taking it to my machine, okay. So remember, the right side of the fabric are now facing each other, so I'm just going to stitch around the shape that I made, okay. Make sure you're careful not to like overstitch, okay. So make sure you just stitch around the shape really well. All right, so once you're done, just go ahead and fold your pockets like this, okay, from the center, and then use anything that is sharp, okay. So me, I'm using my thread cutter to go ahead and then open up my pocket. So when I get to the corners, okay, I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm just going to create this dark tail, okay, right through to the corner, and then I'm making sure that I am cutting, but not cutting through my thread, but I'm cutting really close to my thread, okay. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, so can you see that? I'm going to go ahead and then repeat the same step here. I'm sorry I kind of blocked you guys away from the camera, but I am going to be showing you. So this is how I'm doing it. I'm just cutting in, okay, cutting in, but I'm not cutting through. I'm just cutting to as close as possible to my stitch. So like I said, make sure you cut really close to your stitch, but don't cut through your stitch, okay. So just like that, okay, create that dark tail like I have done here, okay. So after you're done with this, just go ahead and then turn this, flip this inside to the wrong side of your dress or your shirt, whatever you're creating your pocket on, okay. So I'm going to flip my shirt over to the wrong side, just like so, okay. So now I am going to go ahead and then iron this very well. Let it stay nice and flat. Okay, so after this, just go ahead and then measure at about 1 inch or 1.5 inch, depending on the length of fabric you have. Okay, so I'm just going to fold the crease line on that 1 inch mark that I made. This is why you should have your stiff ironed. Okay, so this is going to serve as a stabilizer for the packet. The stiff is going to serve as a stabilizer for the packet. So make sure the fold that you are um, placing on top of your pocket is not covering your pocket. Okay, it's just covering that space, not covering the whole thing. Okay, make sure it's as close as possible to the opening. Okay, so the next thing is I am going to be stitching on this dark tail. Okay, all through to my to the side. I'm going to be showing you, so please, as I'm talking, make sure you watch what I am doing. That will explain it much better. So I've zoomed in so that you guys can see what's going on. So stitch on the original stitch line. Okay, the original stitch line. Okay, but make sure you are stitching on the dark tail. All right, so I am going to lift up my foot and then flip it over like you see, and I'm stitching on the original stitch line. Okay, I'm stitching on the original stitch line, and then back to the other dark tail. I am just going to go ahead and the stitch line that I made, I'm going to stitch on that. Okay, as well. So make sure you're stitching on the original stitch line. If you don't stitch on the original stitch line, you are not going to get a good result. Okay, so just pass your machine through that stitch line again. All right, so you see this stitch line, yeah, that's what I'm stitching on. Okay, make sure you stitch on that. Right, so creating a word pocket, if you want a neat pocket, make sure you take your time and then do this on. Also cut through the edge very well without cutting through the thread. Okay, because if you don't cut through very well, you get some folds you may not like on your pocket. Okay, so once that is done, I'm going to show you guys the next step to take. So this is how it looks, guys. This is how it looks. Okay, I am going to take this over to my machine again, and then I'm going to show you the next step. So the next thing is I'm going to pick this other side of my length and cover it up, and then I'm going to be closing my pockets. Okay, so just like that. So this time around you can just stitch on your pockets without touching your original stitch. Okay, you touch the original stitch at the top part of your welt pocket. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So cover this up and then sew this all around. Okay, right, yeah, so just like that. I'm just going to get my pockets. Okay, so you can do 7 inch, you can do more than that. Okay, so I'm just going in to get the wideness of my pocket too. Going to come in by 1 inch on the other side. Okay, so I'm just creating the shape that I want for my pocket right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the top. Remember, like I said, you sew this. Okay, but when you get to the top, you stitch on the original stitch line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So with the shape I drew, I'm just going ahead to pass my machine on like so. So if you are not conversant with sewing without pinning, you can just pin your pockets down before you stitch. Okay. All right. Also, with this, I'm going to go ahead and first of all sew this down before I turn it over, and then stitch on my original stitch line. Okay, for the word pocket, so that that place will be closed. Okay, so like I said, this is the original stitch line for the pocket. It's opened. Okay, so you have to pass your machine through that. Let me quickly show you what I mean by that. So you see how it's open. You don't want this, okay, for your pocket, so you need to go ahead and then stitch on that. Okay, stitch on that stitch line so that it will close that gap it created at that point. Okay, okay, so that is it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it looks now. So just go ahead and then weave, or go ahead and then overlock the rough edges. Okay, so our pocket is done. Our pocket is done now, and this is how it looks. So I'm going to press it really flat so it comes out really nice and beautiful. So guys, if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. I'm done with my pockets now. You see, it's a very simple step. Yeah, so this is how it looks. Okay, so please, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you get notified anytime I upload a new